Richie Smith here with another episode of the Lens Wizard Lightroom series. And today's topic is going to be the book module. And a couple of weeks ago, I put up a video online about talking about how I use printed portfolios. And I have at least one printed up every year, and sometimes more than one depending on what it is I'm doing. But I have a general portfolio that I use to put in front of people to physically hold my photography. And it could be for a client, or it could be for someone who I just want to show this is what I do, and without using an iPad or an iPhone or letting them look at it online, go old school and show them a book. And it's very impressive. So okay, we're in the library module right now, and some people have never even looked at the book module. So before you go into book module, you need to have a little bit of a setup. Now here's the setup. The setup is we're in library, and I'm in collections, and I have made a collection simply titled 2016 book. And this here in the body of this grid view here is the collection of what I've chosen to pull from for my book. Now this is the pool. I might not put all of these into the book, but I want to have them available. So as you can see there, some are 5-star and they're flagged, and others are 3-star, and there's stuff that's not flagged, and we got different color labels. That's because I brought these in from all different folders and different places, because this is going to be my portfolio. So without further ado, once we have our collection made, we can go ahead and click on book. Now it's going to give you one of 3 views, and down here in the lower left hand corner are your choices. At this time, if we look, we're in the spread view, and we have over here multi-page view, and we have single page view. So if we go to multi-page, it gives us our multiple pages. Now as you see, I have the cells already filled in because I've already printed this book. This is my saved version, but I just want to go back and show you an overview of what I did to put it together, because this is as simple as it gets. It's one image per page. So if we want to go back over here into spread view, and this could be Control R to get over to that if you want to do that, because keyboard shortcuts are great. So this particular image, this one is going to be special to the whole book, because this is one image. It's made up of 2 images, but when it gets printed at the printer, it's printed as one image, because it is then wrapped around the cover front and back, and this being the spine right here in the center. Okay, so that's a little confusing. Even if we go to single page per view, it still lets us see the front and back cover. I just want to explain that. It's a little confusing at first. Okay, this text right here I added in Lightroom book module. This text on the spine I added in the book module where we're at right now. This text here is actually all part of this image, and this was fabricated in Photoshop. Okay, now if you've been to my website, you know that this is the very first image you see when you go to the home page of my website, and then it starts with a little slideshow of some of my other favorite images. Okay, this is all embedded in that image, and the reason I use this as my cover, and this is strictly to me, you don't have to do this. I want the portfolio, because it's a general portfolio of my work, what I do as a photographer for my business. I want it to relate directly to my website. So I want people, when they see this, if they've seen the website, they just automatically know the 2 connect, and vice versa, if they've seen the website first and then they see this. Okay, the back image is the back image. I just chose a favorite long exposure image that I did a few years ago and put that on there. I thought it was just kind of a cool. But this front one is the one I want to make my statement. And again, this is going to be personal to each and every photographer themselves as to what they put up there. So the next, now I'm sorry, let me go back, and I want to get into spread view. Okay, so picture as this, I'm flipping through the pages of the book. This is going to be the inside of the front cover. There is going to be no image here. This is just going to be, you're going to choose the color later on, but it's either going to be like a light gray, a dark gray, or a black. Okay, this, anytime you see crosshairs in a cell, obviously you can put an image in there. So this would be page number 1, and it is depicted by this page number right down here. Now if I wanted to, I could come down here into the timeline, and I would left click and hold and just drag an image and put it right up there. Okay, so once I have chosen to have this border here, and I've chosen 1 image per page. Now if I wanted to add text, I could, but for, again, my personal reasons, it's a general portfolio and I want people to focus on the image. I don't want to have a model name, I don't want to have a date, a location. That, again, is my personal preference. Okay, but let's just look at this. If we go down here in the lower right hand corner, change page layout, okay, click on that and a dialog opens up, and you have 1 photo, and that means 1 per page, and this is going to give you all these thumbnails are all your options. So if we want to go to a full page with just no border at all, there it is. And it's hard to see, but there are some guidelines here, and you know, that's for the printer use. That's the guides for that. You need to at least fill in to that part. Okay, so there's many choices here, and I'm just going to kind of scroll through them again, not going too in depth into this. If you want to go to 4 per page, but as you start to see these choices, you know, first thing it speaks to me is wedding book, wedding album. Okay, and this is, I've used it for this as well. I've made wedding books. I've also made project books, projects that I worked on, and I wanted to chronicleize the whole project from beginning to end. And I've done that, you know, and put more than 1 cell per page and text. If you want to do, you see anywhere there's lines, this is all text. So if you want to actually write a lot of text and just have a few pictures, you want to have a lot of pictures and a little bit of text. But let me just go back to the one I was at. Okay, and actually what I want to do is I want to remove this photo. So the reason I want to remove the photo, I want to keep personal preference. I like to keep this first page blank. Now sometimes I will, for my own purposes, put written text. This is a portfolio, remember, that some potential clients are going to be looking at. So what I want is when they turn over to page 2, I want them to see 2 images side by side. I don't want them to see just 1 image in the beginning. It's my personal preference. It's my little pet peeve. But anyway, so I try to keep the images balanced. There is an actual knack and really actually an art to setting up portfolios the proper way. Now, I don't take and go to, there are people you can actually go to that will set up your portfolio so that it flows the right way, and they'll cull through and take photos out and tell you which ones you need to keep in. But for this portfolio, I opted to just do it myself, and what I do is I lay the photos out and I look at them, and I just want them to be somewhat balanced. I don't put a whole lot into it, but enough, there is some thought. So, and they don't have to be balanced, doesn't mean they have to look the same as they do here. They can also contrast each other. You know, they can contrast each other. So this is, it goes through and it progresses from my model work, which is predominantly what I would want to show somebody when I'm showing my portfolio. But now again, if I was going to be showing this to a potential wedding client, I probably wouldn't show them this. I would show them a wedding book that I've done or a collection of my wedding work. Okay, so as you can see, it flips on through. Now, because I want the models to be in the beginning, it starts to get into creative stuff. It leaves being the regular model work and it starts to head over into creative stuff. And here we're still with just, straightforward modeling. But over here, even still, this is a composite, but this one isn't. So as it goes through, it gets into more creative stuff. These are both composites done at Eastern States Penitentiary with 2 different models. here we have a composite, but this is a straightforward photo of Nicolot Damius. So over here is just two photos that kind of contrast each other here. This is not a composite, but this one is. And it just flows through, but this was a project shoot I'd done. Actually, both of these are project shoots, but again, these are kind of balanced. It fits. So it goes on through, and I can, real quick, I'm not going to just stop on each one, but here I kind of, they're almost black and whites to complement each other. Here's more of like fine art stuff that I do, so it starts getting away from the actual modeling work and so on and so forth. So let's move on over real quick, and just to give you an overview of what you got going up here. Okay, so up here is where, now you see blurb. Blurb is right there. Now you have other choices, right? You have other choices, but if you're going to print a book, print a book through blurb, you need to have blurb checked. And here is the size, and it tells you the sizes, that the options that you have available to you. Okay, so standard, large landscape, so standard is a 10-inch by 8-inch. And actually I use either one of these, and quite honestly this year I printed up both of this size of the same book, and one is a smaller one that I carry. It's able to fit in a shoulder bag that I carry, and it fits in there very nicely with my tablet and everything. But the larger one is the one that I'm really serious about. The smaller one is the one that I just always have with me just in case. Okay, and then you choose your cover. You have a hard cover, soft cover, hard cover, dust jacket. So you got options there. Now each one of these options changes the price, and if you go over to here, your price is over here. It's telling you the size of the book, it's telling you how many pages, and it's telling you your price. Okay, now down here you also see estimated price and logo on page. Now logo on page, all that means is on the very last page of the book, and we'll get down here to the last page, you have that logo right there. And honestly, I don't mind that being there. I like it there because I can tell people where I got the book from. I mean, I'm proud of these books, and I like buying them from Blurb, and I don't mind spreading the word around about that. Okay, so once you are ready and you've gotten your book all ready, you can send it to Blurb. Okay, but now I'm skipping over a lot of stuff, so let's just go back real quick, and again we're just going to look at just some of the overview stuff. Auto layout, there's clear layout. If I wanted to clear and start over, obviously I could clear the format and start over again. Sometimes you're working on a project and you just get halfway through it and you get inundated, and just you say, that's it, I want to start from scratch. It's like typing something, and back in the days when we had typewriters, and you would get halfway through a page and you would just hate what you're writing, and you would rip it out of the typewriter and crunch it up and throw it in a pile. Okay, page numbers. You can put page numbers on, and here again is another place to get your page layout. Add a page, add a blank. It goes on down. A lot of this stuff, it's kind of self-explanatory, but if you've never been in the book module, it can seem a little intimidating, I guess we would say. So what you do is, and this is how I learn a lot of stuff, is I go in and I poke around. And if you don't understand something, you have the option to head on over to Google, or you can send me a message, or you can get on an Adobe message board. I mean, there's many places to find the answers to what you want to do. Padding a cell. Now, you can't pad these cells because of the format that I'm using, but in some formats you can. And here's your text. Now, if when you're getting into, let's see, okay, I'm sorry, you can pad the cell. Padding a cell, you see what that does right there, okay? And photo text. If you turn that on, now you can turn that on. A lot of this stuff you can do in one place or another. Here you can just click right here and start to add your text. Okay, so you can align with the photo. It gives you a lot of options, and what I find that's cool about it is rather than going on a website and doing it with their wizard or their template driven format, this is kind of template driven, but it gives you a lot of flexibility and a lot of choices right here inside of Lightroom. Okay, so as we get down, apply background globally. Again, if you dropped in a background and you wanted to have some, I do that with wedding books. Sometimes I'll make a digital paper, and it'll be specific to the color of the wedding, and put it in, and I'll have maybe a couple different ones so that it doesn't all look the same. But I'll have a digital paper that is around the photos, or if you're selecting a template that's got 3 or 4 photos on a page, your digital paper will show through, and that would be your background here. Okay, background color. Again, a lot of this stuff, I know I keep saying it's self-explanatory. It is self-explanatory, or poke around and check it out. But I will do another tutorial that'll be a little more in-depth on what all of this stuff over here does and what it means. But I just wanted everybody to see you can make a simple single photo per page portfolio, hard covered, send it up, go to Blurb, and let's see what happens here. If we go, let's go on up and go to Blurb. Right, so at Blurb I already have an account. If you don't have an account, you sign up, but I'm going to log into my account. Okay, once you log into your account, you will see something similar to this, and you can see different things that I have. These are different books that I have stored in my account. And when you go to order a book, in this case, let's go with this one here. It's going to give you choices over here, and I always choose the Proline paper. There's the uncoated, but I go with the pearl paper. And my personal preference, you can choose your end. This is your standard end sheet. This is that first page and last page between the covers before your material starts. My personal preference is the charcoal, and it does add $3. I never go for the PDF. I urge you not to do the PDF because it's just too big. You're never going to be able to email it to anybody. It's just huge. Okay, you could upload it to a website or something like that. Now, then you click Add to Cart. So the thing that I want to talk about when it comes to purchasing it, some people are intimidated by the price. What I urge you to do is go sign up with Blurb, and you'll get emails like you get from everywhere when you sign up. I never buy at this price. Never, never, never. Right now, I can tell you I purchased this book for under $50. It's $64. What I do is I wait until they send me a 35% or a 40% off, and then I go ahead and purchase it. Now, if I needed to make up a book real quick for a customer, I would purchase it at this price, of course, and the price gets passed on to the customer. And I try to help customers out. If I can get a discount for them, that's fine too. But for myself, for my own material, I just wait. They put them out every couple weeks. You'll see 35% or 40%. 40% is the one I love, and I get them for under $50. And some people, again, might say, geez, $50 for a book. Well, I tell you what, it comes back to you in a very, very big way. Okay, so I'm going to cap this at about 20 minutes here. So, hey everybody, check me out at recklesspixel.com. I'm Lens Wizard over on Instagram, and this is the Lens Wizard series. So you can click like, and you can subscribe to this channel, come back and watch them over and over again. They're free. They don't cost you anything. And leave some comments. Give me some feedback. And if you have any questions, you know, you can always contact me. Okay, until next time, thanks so much.